Good morning and welcome to this edition of Unwanted Opinions. I'm your host, Justin MacDonald, here with Matt Fischer.
Nailed it.
Fact checker Jesse James. And executive producer Dave Miller.
Y'all weren't expecting that one.
Now I was expecting something stupid, and you supplied.
I never know what to expect.
Glad I didn't disappoint.
Yeah, are you supposed to know what to expect? You know he's going to make some kind of noise.
Right.
We're all sharing, or I'm sharing right now.
Yeah, you're sharing. It takes me like half the episode to share, so.
Yeah. Well, it's
if I even get it out, because it's like I'm so distracted by talking that.
It's hard to do two things at once.
Yeah, I'd like try to write a status update and have a conversation at the same time, and you quickly realize your brain just doesn't work like that.
Yeah, I think people think I'm kidding when I say that I can't multitask.
I can't multitask.
I'm like, no, I genuinely cannot multitask. I can do a task very quickly and move on to the next task, or I can do this one for a few minutes and then move to the other one and then move back. But I cannot do two things at once. And this, I think I've probably said this before. This is probably the most like generalized sexist thing I'll say. But I think women can. Like, I think that my wife can do two things at once where I cannot.
I can barely do one thing at once, and so, like, I agree with that statement. It's not just multitasking, it's just focusing in general can be tough.
Yeah, it's tough.
Just trying to do one thing, and then you have all of this other stuff going on in our world, and yeah, it's hard.
I feel like my focus, I don't know if it's recently or as I've gotten older or what, has gotten way worse just this past year.
Yeah. Oh, no, mine has for sure. I'm struggling big time with just focusing on something because I jump around.
Yeah.
I jump around and like nothing gets finished. Now I have like my hands in like a million little projects and pots here, and it's just constantly distracted. And I keep telling myself I can multitask.
Yeah, you can.
And I can't. I absolutely cannot.
Do you feel like that weird 2-year gap had something to do with it?
Maybe, but
where our world was turned on end and like literally like life-changing event after life-changing event, I couldn't possibly understand how that would have any effect on any human whatsoever.
Soapbox.
Well, it's not a soapbox. I mean, it's kind of been a weird go of it for a couple years now.
For sure.
I was expecting life to be moving a little bit more smooth. Like Jetson, like let's advance towards a like utopian future, and I'm like, this stuff's just getting worse, man. Like, you would think that with all of our technology and stuff, we would, I don't know, have robots doing work for us. We'd be taken care of. We wouldn't have so much violence, but no. Sad.
I was just going to say that I used to be able to read a nonfiction book. This was about 5 minutes ago when I started that sentence. And that now I'll start to try to read something that like I'm interested in, but it's boring. Like I used to be able to do that, right? It might be boring, but I'm interested in the subject. But now I'm like, oh my gosh, it's taken me like weeks to get through one chapter of a book that again, like on the surface I like, but I just get like, oh man, this is so boring. It's hard for me to get through it. I'm like, what's going on here that I cannot finish even just one chapter?
Have you tried movies?
Yeah. They're like visual books.
Right. I don't like boring movies.
And a lot of great movies have had books come out after the fact based on them.
So to be fair, yes,
that,
I do like boring documentaries. I don't like
love them.
The like new age. Some of them I like the docudrama. Like I'm watching The Offer right now, which is the making of The Godfather. Love the show. It's great, right? And it's a drama about.
Right.
They need to chill out with the docudramas, though. I agree with you.
Yeah, it just gets to be too much. I'm like, I want to go back to the like old school one monotone dude reading things off like, and in 1917, give me that.
Have you heard? This is like my favorite streaming platform. Curiosity Stream.
No.
Dude, it's all documentaries. And it is all documentaries like
boring
that.
type, yeah.
Oh, it is like Lauren got it. She's like, oh, hey, it was $10 for like the year.
Yeah.
It was a promotional half-off discount. Otherwise, it's like $20 for the year. And you go on there, and it is literally just documentaries.
Okay. Are like good ones?
Right.
They're the good one. They're not like the. Well, I mean, like they do have some really good stuff on there, and it's a little bit of everything. There's like socioeconomic documentaries, nature documentaries, history documentaries, stuff like that. There's like everything, but there's no drama. There's dramatic shows. There's no sitcoms. It's not like a Netflix and HBO that has a documentary like section. It is pure documentaries, and it is the kind that you're talking about that I like, where it's just more, I think, fact-based.
Just the facts, man.
Yeah,
just the facts.
yeah. It's not super sensationalized stuff. It's great though. Like I put that on just if I need to just like chill.
Yeah.
Because it's like I can just focus on that and just chill out, and it's not too like overly stimulating. Like
I realized
dramatized.
I realized that I hated the like over sensationalized, over dramatized when Making a Murderer came out. Because you watch that, because sometimes I'm like, I don't even want to watch something.
And that one was great though.
No. Yeah. Sometimes I don't even want to watch something, but I'm so sick of seeing people talking about it and not knowing what's going on that I'm like, all right, fine. So I'll start watching. And what you can't do on the TV that I can do on my phone is I can up the speed of Netflix on my phone so I can power through something.
You're a psychopath.
No, if I'm not enjoying it. But if you watch Making a Murder, especially the second season.
It stopped after the first.
Right, because it's 10 episodes that could have all been one. So I want to go back to hour and a half boring documentaries.
So have you seen the unauthorized Bash Brothers documentary on Netflix?
Bash Brothers from like the Mighty Ducks?
Super Bash Brothers.
The Oakland A's. Mark McGuire and Jose Canseco.
No.
So it's Andy Samberg and one of his cohorts. And
now that sounds interesting.
It's great. It's ridiculous. It's a comedy docudrama. But it's amazing. And they do another one called 7 Days in Hell about the longest tennis match ever. And both of them are. So I watched the Bash Brother ones, and I thought it was going to be dumb. And I like sports history.
Right.
And that's kind of in our era.
Yeah.
So I was like, what the hell is going on?
Do you remember when Jose Canseco did like a celebrity boxing match?
Yeah.
I can't remember who he fought. It was like Scott Bale or something like that.
Remember when he got hit in the head with trying to catch him?
Yes, I do. Dink. He got dinked right in the head.
And it went over the wall.
Speaking of Netflix and drawing out, happy Stranger Things 4 season day.
Today? What?
Today. Drops
shows you
today.
how little I've been on Netflix.
It's coming out in two. Yeah, we'll get to that. It's coming out in 2 volumes.
Why are they doing that?
Hold on.
They did that with the Ozarks.
No, did they? Mm-hmm. It came out.
It was the final season, and they had like 7 episodes, and then they're like, it just ended, and then they're like, you'll get the other 7 in 4 months.
Oh, okay. So wait, I think that's too long. But they're doing the first volume drops today, and the second volume drops July 1st. But here's the thing: when did Stranger Things 3 come out? It was like 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, something like that.
Longer than that.
Yeah,
big ticket shows like that. I don't think it's uncommon for them to have like gaps. Like Westworld on HBO had 2 years in between first and second season.
I was done.
2 years.
I was done with Netflix, and then Stranger Things came out, and then I was like, okay, this is really good. I'm gonna stay on for a little bit, and I'm not like they hit all the nostalgia points correctly. You found out when season 3 came out?
2019, July 4th, 2019. Seems longer.
2
That was
years
just last year.
Yeah. Wait, no, that's 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3 years ago.
Yeah.
That's wild. So, we're supposed to, like, I don't want to go back now and watch all 3 seasons to try to catch up.
And that's what I feel like I have to do.
Right. If you want to be in the know-it-all, you've got to do that.
Go to YouTube and type in Stranger Things recap.
Right.
And like I've done that with every show because I feel the same way. There's so much time has elapsed. Lauren's the one that told me about that. And there's like a bunch to choose from. So, make your own judgment. But there's like quality YouTubers out there that will give you like, it'll be like a 10, 12-minute video. And they're like, everything you need to know to be up to speed. And they hit all, like, because like the recaps that Netflix gives you are like, they're garbage. Because they're like, we're going to recap this in 2 minutes. And it's just clips.
Well, I like what HBO does. So at the beginning of each new season, they give you a recap.
Yeah,
and
they do good about
it. And it hits on all the points that you need to.
That you should know.
You almost don't have to watch the previous season to then catch up.
HBO's been like the one streaming platform that I've been using the most recently. At first, like I got it just because I wanted to watch some of the movies coming out that were during the pandemic because it was kind of like my movie theater because they're like, oh, hey, we're going to drop these new releases same day as they're out in theaters. But, there's only so many theaters and all those restrictions. But then I just kept it because like they started putting out better content than Netflix.
Yeah, Paramount has actually been the one for us recently. And because they've got good movies, and I'm really enjoying this show, The Offer. So, but it's only one season too, and I actually like the what's The Office?
That you just mispronounced it. It's The Office.
Oh yeah, that's on Peacock. All of the different streaming. Go ahead.
I'm just now realizing Peacock and Paramount are two totally different streaming platforms.
Yep, and The Offer and The Office are two totally different shows too.
Yeah.
And The Godfather and Scarface are two totally different movies.
This is why I cannot focus on tasks. They don't make it easy for you.
Yeah. So mostly being getting away from Netflix, but all of those streaming platforms, they're not putting their shows out in a batch where you just binge it and then you're done with it.
Right.
Because that's the other problem. When you have a season, like regular shows when they were on, what are the networks? Network TV?
Yeah, cable TV.
Right, network or cable TV. It was week by week, and then you'd have like a 6-week break, right? It wasn't a 3-year break where you had to what is this? And I've totally lost interest, maybe. I'm kind of excited for Stranger Things 4, but not nearly as I would have been in 2020 or, even 21 maybe. Yeah. I don't know.
So in the chat, Teddy's bringing up, there's a YouTube channel called Story Recapped, and they do 15-minute recaps of seasons. And a lot of people, I guess, watch that.
Oh, yeah, that's what Carl says, too.
Good job, Teddy, for being up so early.
Yeah. I think the recap is the way to go. But even still, I feel like you tend to lose interest. And me personally, and I feel like a lot of people are like this, I think a lot of people are phasing out of the Netflix. Like, Netflix was like, oh, Blockbuster got too big and ha, 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 ha. And then they literally have, started to follow the same route.
Well, you've got so many options now, too. Netflix was the streaming option.
Right? It was, yeah. But also, it reminds me of, early Pandora. Mm-hmm. I remember when Pandora music streaming came out, and, I think it was... part of that was good because it was new and it was the only thing like it, kind of like Netflix back in the day. But I found so much good music content on Pandora because of the algorithm and what it was playing. And the same thing with Netflix. But then I don't know if it's a change to the algorithm or just change in the general marketplace. But now it's just I don't have Pandora anymore. But it's just it just became every other streaming platform, and it just kind of played the same stuff. I wasn't discovering new music. I wasn't finding anything cool that was new.
Well, I think especially with Netflix, I think it's pay to play, right? So these movies
are
getting pushed.
That's kind of what I felt. I felt like every time I'd log on, it would show me the same stuff, and no matter how many refreshes and scrolls, because there's so much stuff where it's hidden, real hidden gems that you would find, and you're like, man, I've never heard of this. This is so cool. Really cool, artsy, fun stuff, animation, drama, even shows. And now it's it is literally the same stuff and I think as an indecisive person who will spend more time scrolling than actually selecting something just because, that's just how I am. I go on there, and every time I go on there, it's the same 10 things. Right, I stopped going on there because it's I know what I'm going to see. I liked it when they would show me cool stuff.
Well, and I get in the loop, so I'll just go and just put on Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Just because it's the first thing there, and I don't feel like
it's a warm blanket.
An hour. Right.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like spending an hour looking for something I haven't seen before.
It just reminded me that I woke up after the day of your birthday. And someone had replied to one of my stories, and I was like, what the heck is this? And at 3 o'clock in the morning, I posted a screen grab from the movie Gladiator, not the Russell Crowe, but the James T. Marshall 1992
original Gladiator
boxing movie. And I just put hashtag, if you know, you know. And I was like, when did I do this?
What do we know?
Not many people have seen that movie and know the premise. And so I saw it and I'm like, because it's a movie that him and I have shared our enjoyment for since it used to play on cable TV.
Right.
And because that's the first time I saw it, with commercials late at night on I don't know, one of those TV stations that would just play movies.
Yeah.
But I didn't see the timestamp that you posted.
Yeah.
It wasn't until the next day where he was just he messaged me and he was just hey, and I'm like, yeah, I saw that, and he's just apparently it came home at 3 a.m. Watched the whole movie.
I have zero recollection, but the biggest thing to me is that
I
didn't know where I streamed it from because I was like, where did I even get this from? Because I'm looking on Netflix.
And I'm asking him too, tell me where you got it so I can watch it too, because I haven't seen it on all my platforms.
So I'm doing I can't find anything. So then I go into my history and I see at 2:45, it's where to watch Gladiator 1992 or James T. Marshall or whatever. And
You Googled the same variation of that question like 12 times.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
It's just like all the same words are there. They're just mixed up. He sent me a screenshot of his search history.
Yeah, I probably just kept forgetting. Yeah, that wait, what? Which one was it again? And so I go through and it's like Memento, the movie, where I'm like tracing backwards all of my steps to find out that I got on Amazon Prime and signed up for the Stars channel to be able to watch this movie. Because it's not on any other platform.
I wouldn't sign up for Stars sober.
Right.
And it's hard enough, putting all your information and doing that. Like, this guy over here is...
Yeah,
right? You're 2 feet away from the TV, holding it so it stops moving.
Trying to touch on the screen. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So that's the process that I went through.
Do you have a Nest Cam in your home? Because I would like to see the elapsed timey lapse of him trying to do this. Because I wouldn't be surprised if you were using your touchscreen TV that doesn't exist.
Also, I have a bad habit of every now and then when I'm watching TV at night, which is kind of rare that I'm out in the living room. But I'll fall asleep with my feet on the coffee table, and I don't know if you guys have ever done this, but you need support under your knees while you sleep, because otherwise, they're inverted, and you try to get up.
It hurts
it's
so
just
bad.
terrible. So then I'm at 6 a.m. trying to get in my room, just stomping straight-legged,
On the ground, dragging.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Do you not have hoverboards in your house?
Yeah, I had multiple, actually.
just drop your legs onto the hoverboard, stand up and hoverboard into the room.
Have
Problem
you guys
solved.
seen the Andy Warhol Diaries
No.
on Netflix?
Is it pretty good?
Yeah. It's a long one. It's I don't know how many episodes, but it's good.
I don't mind if it's a lot of episodes sometimes if they tell me this is it. This is all you only have to be invested
It's all
for 2
wrapped
seasons.
up, start
right.
and finish.
Right.
But
Yeah,
when
I
you
think
just
this is-
don't know,
I think this is one season.
Well,
one season.
going back to the Making of Murder, with the docudramas and even documentaries like that, I don't mind it if it's like you said, this is all it is, wrapped up start to finish. But second of all, with one of those sensationalized ones, it's we only really need one of those once every 6 months to a year.
Right.
That was Tiger King, right? Came out, and that was what we had, and then Making a Murder came out, and that's what we had, and it was great. But now it seems like everything's like that.
oh no, I watched the full second season of Tiger King.
I haven't yet.
Oh, it was well worth it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was not like Making a Murder or 2 where they just stretch it out and stretch it out and stretch it out.
Okay.
It's
See,
there's
because that's what
more
I thought.
insane
I
stuff.
thought it was like that, and so I was just
I was blown away that there was more to the story than just what they had in there. Anyway, Top Gun also comes out this weekend.
crazy good reviews.
Yeah,
Strangely enough, which is blowing my mind.
I've never been the biggest I like the movie, but it was never one of those things that are I love this movie. But a group of our
same.
friends really love it, so I was whatever, we'll sing the song.
I've never seen the movie.
Well, we went and watched it.
It's like Godfather. It's just what's the point?
You haven't seen Top Gun?
No,
Just move past it.
I
You haven't
haven't.
seen Godfather?
No,
What's
that Godfather's
wrong
too
with you?
long. First
No,
of
he
all.
thinks Godfather and Scarface are the
No, I've seen Scarface plenty of times.
which is a terrible movie.
Well, I feel like
Okay,
it's
to
shorter,
you.
it's shorter than Godfather, but it feels 5 times.
No way,
as
is it
long.
shorter than Godfather?
Yeah, it's
Scarface?
gotta be.
I thought in my mind
Scarface is one
Scarface
movie.
is 4
Godfather's
hours.
3 movies.
Yeah, but you could watch just the one if you want.
I got the gist of it.
No, you don't.
Well, it's
Yeah.
3 hours long.
Yeah, that's
It's
what
a
I'm
long
saying.
movie. I just remember ugh.
Some movies I haven't seen, I've just committed to not seeing them now. I'm just late to the game.
You wouldn't.
Godfather's 5 minutes longer.
Then
Yeah.
Scarface?
Yeah.
Ugh. Still not gonna watch it.
Bro, it's amazing.
So we go to the what's the theater in town? Marion Theater. We go to Marion Theater. Oh, brain fart. What's that county we live in?
Ocala.
So we go down there to watch Top Gun with a group of guys. It's we've sang the song at the bar multiple times. It's just all right, this will be
The
fun.
song's called Top Gun.
No, I'm not gonna sing it.
Sing it.
Not the Cheney brothers. Isley brothers? Not the Isley brothers. I'm losing my mind this morning.
Leighton says she has PTSD from that night.
Oh yeah, I'm trying to get to it. What's the song? What are the guys that sing the song?
The Neville brothers.
Can't stop that love and feeling.
Yes. No,
You,
not
you
that.
didn't, I didn't even get it out of my mouth, and you said yes.
No,
You're
it's-
just waiting for confirmation.
You've never. Whatever. Anyway, let me get to the story.
Righteous Brother.
Righteous Brothers. So we go to see this movie, and we had a few drinks beforehand, which is no big deal. But then someone, Ross Anthony, comes in, and just completely talks through the entire movie. But then at one point
That
he goes,
sounds uncharacteristic.
yeah, right? Like, loudly, not like unabashedly at all. Like, just straight up, as loud as we're talking right now, as if there isn't a movie going on, and other people that have paid to see this movie.
Was it more entertaining than the movie?
It was not.
Oh, okay.
But
I was just trying to give him the benefit of the
he
doubt.
goes, yo, are these dudes gay?
Yes.
And I was like, why would you say that? And then as I'm watching the movie, I'm like,
I've heard 100%. It is like
I cannot
it's
believe
like
how
homoerotic.
It's
this
dawned
movie
on
is.
the whole group.
Yes.
And we all were like, what?
And then from then on, like every scene, we're like, wow, how did we miss this? Obviously, nothing wrong
They're
with
sharing
that, but it's-
cockpits and like all
What did
kinds
you just say? You're not allowed to say that on here.
Yeah, that's part of a plane.
No, but, like they talk so close to each other, like in towels, and then like there's like
Have you
the
ever
one
been on a
scene
U.S. aircraft
where the
carrier?
guy's like, I want butts and I want them now. And it's like we're just dying laughing. Like, how did we miss all of this?
Surrounded by a bunch of seamen.
You've just been waiting
Yeah.
all morning. to say that.
How are you going to talk about the Navy
He saw Top Gun up there and was like,
and not make that joke?
yeah. Anyway, watch the movie again if you haven't. It's just a whole new world.
I would probably watch Top Gun before I watch Godfather.
No, that's a bad move.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, then how am I going to know what's going on in the second one? I'll watch one of those movie
What about
recaps.
Goodfellas?
I've seen Goodfellas.
Rest in peace, Ray.
Yeah, I've seen Goodfellas.
Rest in heaven, King.
Yeah.
That was a good movie.
Great movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Old Ray Liotta. 67, died in his sleep
Yeah,
while
that's
filming
wild.
a movie.
It's the way to go.
Yeah, I guess. In your sleep.
Yeah. Not necessarily.
In
60s.
VR.
You gotta like wake up, right? You don't just like stay asleep. Well, you do stay asleep.
Yeah, I mean, no, like
Forever.
death is permanent sleep. Like he's off to the next adventure.
Yeah. Okay, Peter Pan.
Is that a concept in Peter Pan? You
Was-
die and go on.
was
Yeah,
Goodfellas-
death is the next big adventure.
Goodfellas, where they bought the tiger.
No, that's The Hangover.
Yeah, that's definitely the hangover.
That's
That's what Mike Tyson.
That's the only movie I know about where they're buying a tiger. Which legally
No,
owned in
no.
Florida.
You thinking a casino, maybe?
Lion. They bought a lion. Yeah, they bought
In Goodfellas?
Yeah, they bought a lion for some mafia member in Goodfellas. 100%.
That's
You don't see a lion, though. They just must talk about it.
Yeah, no, he's in there. Lion's definitely in there.
What?
okay. Maybe I haven't seen
In
Goodfellas.
Goodfellas?
He's a fact checker. I guess we have to believe him. He does have a
I'll take
computer.
your word for it, but reluctantly.
Yeah. He's looking at pictures on his computer. There's nothing on there actually.
Yeah. Just look at the pictures.
He's not actually
of
searching anything.
This one scene takes place in Tampa.
lions. Of course it does. Oh, I do know that part. They're down, yeah.
I bet you that's where they got the
sent them down
lion
to
from
Tampa.
too.
Yeah,
Florida.
they're at like the zoo.
Yeah, they fed him to a lion.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Oh
Same thing.
He said they bought a lion for him. Anyway,
man, that would be a terrible way to go.
1962,
Moon landing.
today, Centralia, Pennsylvania. Landfill catches on fire, sets an old coal mine on fire underground. It's been burning since. It's now a ghost town. It's not up there.
That makes sense.
That's like, it was like the, what do you call it? The inspiration for Silent Hill.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So it's still on fire.
Yeah. And
So
like
the
I've
coal
seen-
is just burning underground. That's
yeah,
why you can't
and
have
you
nice
like
things.
you can see like
Swear to God.
right, like openings of the ground where it's just like still smoking out and stuff like that. Yeah,
Jeez.
it's been
I
a
was
ghost
thinking
town.
Donnie Brasco.
Donnie Brasco. Why does that sound familiar?
Mafia movie. I think Johnny Depp is in it.
It's wild to me that there's like this whole franchise of movies like sensationalizing like actual like gang and organized crimes, like violent
Yeah.
organized crimes and gangs, and then like which is not uncommon because there's plenty of those like for like inner city gangs and stuff like that. They're sensationalized in one way or another. But like with mafia stuff in general, like Italian Americans will be like just so
Careful with your generalizations.
no
here.
are mafia people not Italian?
They
There's
can be.
different- Yeah, there's different mafias.
Well, I'm talking about like the Godfather mafia. Isn't that an Italian mafia?
Based.
Yes.
Based, okay. But I'm just saying, it's just weird to me where it's just so like accepted in culture, and like almost accepted to the point to where it's not even like
So that's
people like
why
looked
my
at like
mom-
a gang anymore.
My
you know?
mom hated all of the movies when I was a kid because she was like, I grew up in the Northeast. Like, I don't like that it's sensationalized
Yeah,
and
glorified.
Yeah, and then you get these
glorified.
people that be like, my uncle's a blah 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 blah, and you're like, they're
Yeah.
not. You're just
Right.
trying to be a tough guy. But
I-
it's just weird.
I was just listening to a Chris DiStefano talking about that, and he's like, it's always like the wannabe guys.
Yes, yeah.
That you had to deal with. The real guys, they're not saying it. No, if they're actually involved, they're not saying it. But it is kind of weird. I think that things like Goodfellas is great because it shows you like just the god awful side of it.
But I still think people watch that movie and be like, I want to be like that and do that, and like I'm a tough
but
guy.
people
I'm a
watch
made man too.
Wolf of Wall Street and they all think I want to be like that.
Oh yeah, they do.
Bud, and they want a dog who plays basketball.
Well, who doesn't?
You know what I'm
Come
saying?
on.
So
Who doesn't?
Just
So
saying.
stop the Air Bud movies is what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's
That's an hour and a half of Golden Retriever. I'd watch that.
it's kind of a weird concept.
you
not wrong.
disagree?
Yeah, you're not wrong.
He got real smiley. He likes it.
I like being a good retriever.
There you go.
Speaking of which, my dog lassied me this week.
You fell in a hole?
Yeah.
Some kid
fell
was in
a
a well?
and yeah. No, she comes in at like 5 a.m. and starts, nudging my bed, and I'm like, just get on up if you want. Like, I'm not. And then she just like starts pawing at me, and then she gets up there and starts like nosing my arm. And I'm like, well, okay, sometimes like her access to get outside gets closed, and like maybe she just needs to go to the bathroom. So I get up, and she gets all excited, and then we start walking down the hallway, and she's looking back and getting excited. And then we come out, and I realize that my son is on the couch, and she does 2 circles and just like sits down in front of him, wagging her tail. And I was like, "Are you okay, bud?" And he was like, "Yeah, I was just like puking and gagging, but I'm good. He's sick."
Yeah.
He's like, "I'm good now." And I was like,
Good dog.
"Okay." And I'm like, "Well, it didn't hit me yet." I was like, "What is she doing?" I'm like, so I opened the door. I'm like, "Oh, the door's open. Everything. She can go outside." And then I was like, "Oh yeah, she's just telling me that."
Lassying you.
Yeah, I was like, "Hey, dude, he's fine. He's not dying. He's just sick."
Yeah.
And then she literally just went and laid in her bed, and that was it.
Yeah, her part's done.
Yeah.
She knows English, huh?
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Smart dog.
Yeah.
Well, they bought the dog in America, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
What did you expect her to know?
Yeah. I mean, there's bilingual people that live here.
There's bilingual dogs,
Yeah, 100%.
which is weird to me. It's like, I can't even speak a second language. Why the hell am I going to get a dog that
How do you
does?
bark in Spanish?
I don't know. With
Well-
roll your R?
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't roll my R.
The German shepherds that are trained in German, you like forget the German word.
Yeah.
Like I think Reno 911 did like an episode like that. He's like, I forget how to make it stop attacking.
What a great show.
Yeah.
That is a good show. But
Speaking of that's on Paramount, which is probably the reason why I've been watching it. that streaming platform. But they tricked me. I thought it was like new seasons because they put out like like commercials now with the people as they are now. But then I went on there and I was like, oh, this is all the old seasons. But I was like, oh, all the old seasons are good.
Dangle.
Yeah, so
What
good.
a maniac.
it's like another show where like fiction's mimicking reality.
And old roller skating Terry.
Terry, yeah, Nick Swardson. I was just baking you guys cookies. Yeah, great stuff. Anyway, I said anyway way too many times today.
Well, yeah, that's a good transition for you. You should work on another one. Like,
Anyhow.
moving on. Next up. Give it the program. Where were you? God,
my bad.
Jesse and I rehearsed
Just
that.
enjoying it. I'm trying to let you go for it.
Well, which one do you want me to go for?
Let's go with the 2000th run.
Yeah.
Big shout out to Tony Ortiz. We've talked. Yeah, that was a big shout
No,
out.
it
Thank you.
says what?
That says, say what?
Say what? Yeah, shout out to Tony Ortiz, who, in case you didn't know, a couple of years ago, many years ago at this point, decided that he was going to run 5K consecutively.
Crazy.
For as many days as he wanted. And now he's gotten to the 2000th run. So that was, I don't know, Tuesday or Wednesday. He ran his 2000th consecutive 5K. So he's run through hurricanes, flus, vacation, all of the above. That
Jobs.
yeah, like
that's
working, kids.
When I first heard about that, being a runner myself, at first I'm like, wow, that's a lot. That is a lot of running. But now it's not so much like the physicality of it. Like that is crazy, but it's more of like, how the heck do you not miss a day?
Yeah.
Like just that part is what boggles my mind, because I think of my own life with everything that's gone on. Hurricanes, like you said, because we are in Florida.
Yeah.
Sickness, all that stuff. And I'm like, he'd just be getting up and being like, I got to do it. I got to do it. And
Right,
so
it's
in
not
my
an option
mind,
anymore.
Tony's just like, there's like hurricane, like stuff's flying by him. He's just like getting the run done, you know, or he's getting like flu and he's got like a thermometer in his mouth. You know, it's very cartoony in my head, but it's amazing. Like it's bonkers to me.
We need to ask him like.
Yeah,
I
really
have asked him before, and basically he's like, well, it's not an option, right? Like I just go. It's not like, sometimes you start making excuses for yourself the minute you wake up.
100%.
Right? You're like, oh, yeah.
I'll make an excuse before I even go to bed.
Right.
That way it's already in the brain when I wake up.
Dreaming about it to make sure it's all in place. Make
make it up. It's like, yep, that's why.
But I think just being intentional, like this is a part of my day. For me, what I realized, I started doing this, it's called Fat Secret. It's just a calorie tracker, basically, and like a food diary. And if you don't put exercise in, it just says like, 24 hours of your day was just for rest or sleeping.
You lazy man.
And so like, worked out for 22 minutes. And
I delete that app so damn quick.
23
I don't
hours.
need a robot making fun of me.
38 minutes of rest and sleep. And I'm like, dang it. But it's right, if you just being somewhat active, and it's not like he sprinted all the 5Ks. Like some of them, I'm sure he walked or jogged or whatever it may be. But just being intentional about it. You don't do that. You don't make that excuse off the rip.
It's just crazy to me. Like
it's
the sheer number. Because like how many years
accomplishment.
is that? How many years is 2000? Like 2000, there's 365 days in a year. So
It's like 5 years, 4 months.
running
or 6
every single day
months.
for 5 years.
6,200 miles.
Yeah, it's over 6,000 miles.
He could have ran to the moon by now.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Did you know if you could?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Pretty sure that's right.
No, that's
Oh,
right.
you're pretty sure that's wrong. If
Listen, it's
we
only
had some way
60
of finding
miles to
out.
get into space.
60 miles to get into space?
Technically. It's
The
only
How
60
come we have so
miles.
much problem getting?
238,000 miles away.
It's close.
How far off was I?
Close.
What?
I don't remember what number I said. How far off was I?
We said 6,200 miles.
Okay, I thought 62,000. So 62,000. Yeah, we were way far
How
off,
many?
guys.
It's 200,000 miles away?
Yeah.
That's stupid.
Not according to the lawn guy my wife hired recently.
Well, it was probably closer
Hold
that
on.
day.
Yeah.
But Tony has done 6,200 miles.
Yeah, which
that's
is
great.
insane.
Yeah.
It's not to the moon, but...
According to my lawn guy, banks are a sham, which I kind of don't disagree with him there.
Oh, wait. 6,200 is not even like crossing the Earth. Yeah.
Boo.
It's not?
No.
Where's those flat earthers at?
Sorry.
No, that's fine.
You want to go on about your
No,
long
I
guy?
just... I found it interesting that he had such strong beliefs on the fact that the Earth is the center of the universe and the sun and the moon are equidistant, and science is lying to us. You know, how this gets brought up in a conversation over just him cutting my grass, I don't know.
Maybe. My long guy's
Bonkers too?
talkative.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, but like that was just weird that he's just
got
like
nothing else to do,
the sun and
right?
the moon are equidistant, and I'm like, but the moon's so much bigger in the sky than the sun. Like, how? Because it's closer, Dave. Don't give me that look.
Visually?
Visually.
It's the most unbelievable conversation I've ever been a part of.
What do you mean? I mean, I'm not the one that believe it.
When do you...
It's the long guy is the one that's saying
it
it.
was 6,200 miles away.
I did. Hold on. When are you looking at the sun to compare its size?
When you not look at the sun, you gotta make sure it's still there. Do you ever think that it's not gonna show
One
up?
of my favorite parts of Trump's presidency
When he stared at the eclipse.
is when they're like, don't stare at the cliffs.
Wow.
And it's the picture of him squinting.
That sums him up. Like, tell him not to do something. He's like, I'm gonna do it. It's like a toddler.
Yeah, well, that's one
Like,
of my
don't touch
favorite
that. And
parts.
it's just like, touch
Yeah.
it.
He's like, it's hot.
Yeah, right. Don't stare at the sun. Bet.
Got me. That's weird that you would think visually the moon is bigger than the sun, and that
At times, often, yes.
Okay.
Because it's closer. I mean, it's way smaller than the sun. We know that, but the sun is like way farther away. Way farther away.
I just want to know how you test it.
By looking with my eyes. Like, how do you not test it?
You can't
That
see
tape
the-
measure he brought.
Yeah.
He's like, well,
Hey, real talk. I know a guy when we were at a wrestling tournament in high
Know a
school,
guy.
and you know this guy too. You may not remember him. And he goes,
There's probably a reason then.
Yeah, he goes. This is a true story.
I can't wait.
We're all talking about something totally unrelated, and he goes, "Shot the moon last night." I was like, "What do you mean,
He's the kind of guy that shoots
TJ?"
hurricanes.
And he goes, "Yeah, I shot it, and I'm pretty sure I hit it because I saw it shake a little bit." Like,
What is happening?
are you serious right now? And this guy genuinely thought that he shot the moon.
People generally thought the moon was cheese at one point. So
I don't think that they genuinely thought
they
that.
did. Do you know what like humans collectively did and thought was like correct in history? And like them thinking the moon is cheese is not far off base from all this other crazy stuff that we've believed. Honestly.
So you're saying the burden of proof is on me to say that they didn't think it was made of cheese?
Yeah, well, people did think it was made of cheese for a while.
I don't know if you're kidding or
I'm not kidding. They thought the moon was made of cheese.
Yeah, green cheese.
Green cheese.
I want
Like, and that's not the craziest thing that like humans have collectively at some point believed to be true. You know, we've believed much wilder stuff in
How
societies.
did they think the cheese got up into space?
It was put there by the creator, Justin.
And when does the moon look green?
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
That's where we're going with this.
No.
Because that punchline.
You guys give me way too much credit if you think I'm setting up these punchlines in advance. I'm not, Dave. Quit shaking your head at me.
So while we're doing Tony's run, they're like, do you want to wear some shoes? I'm like, what?
Who said that?
The people that own the store. So we're at
What
Rerun.
store? Oh,
Run,
okay.
yeah.
Running Element?
Running Element. That's what it is.
It's the one on Magnolia, right?
Yes. No. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And so Running Element downtown. And they're like, you want to wear some shoes? And I was like, do what now?
I'm not going to run barefoot.
And they're like, yeah, like, yeah, we got all these like Hoka, either there's the Carbon X2 or Carbon X3, like a pretty nice shoe. Oh. Like, yeah, we get them as test samples, and you can just go out and run in them. And
That's cool.
so we took off running, and
Did you wear
he's like,
socks?
no, it's not my shoes.
Yeah,
right?
you raw dog someone else's shoes.
But yeah, it was just like, oh, cool. We just took off for half an hour running 3 miles in this nice pair of like $200 shoes.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool they did that.
They were strange. They were like super wide.
Yeah.
So it felt like a snowshoe, like.
They have a lot of padding, but like I like that they, I need to check them out and go there. Like some other running stores, like you can pay like a membership, and that does allow you to like try shoes out, and it's worth it because like I've bought an expensive pair of running shoes before, and quickly found out that they don't work for my feet. It's a crap design, and they just immediately became gym shoes, and I'm like, cool, I got a $150 pair of gym shoes now because they just sucked, and so like being able to try on before you like spend that much money is great.
I like to try on all my shoes before I buy them.
Well, I meant like it's totally different than like just casual sneakers, which I was used to, and that's how I started buying running shoes. And it's like, nah, you really got to like run in them to see how after 3 miles, 4 or 5 miles, like how that is gonna rub on your pinky toes, your big toe, whatever, because everyone runs different too. And it's like more. I can't make fun of you for how you flail your arms because I flail my legs from the knees down.
Yin and yang, my man, yin and yang.
Which,
For those of you that aren't aware, apparently I run something like this.
Uh-huh.
And also mess with my arms and Matt's feet.
they go like that.
The same motion.
It's literally yin and yang.
Yeah. But like I don't hurt myself. And so it's just like sometimes they're like, oh, you do that, like that's improper form because like you have like weak hip flexors. But they're like, also it could just be that's just how you run, and if you're not being injured, then that just is like how you run. And I never knew I ran like that until he started taking pictures of me and asking me and kind of like low key making fun of me. Yeah, for sure. And I had no clue, and I preferred not knowing. Yeah. Because now I got a complex.
Well, it's cool though because people can't run next to you, so you'll never be crowded.
Dang.
That's untrue because I about punted this guy's dog at the turkey trot.
Right.
No, his dog got up in my way and tripped me up. Take your dog on the run, but don't be at the front of the pack where your dog's running all around in front of other people who are going for time.
Well, just
come on.
Especially
and if you're going for time, leave your damn dog at home.
Especially turkey trot, they don't know that because I was there with a stroller, double stroller, and I'm literally having to I ran probably 4 miles trying to get that 3.12 miles done.
Because zigzagging.
Yeah, people are just in the way, and it's like, hey, don't be in the front of the line. Or if you're gonna walk, don't take up the entire running path. Come on. But the turkey trot's full of people that run once a year at the turkey trot, so they don't know. I
will say it's great because then I can be absolutely ignorant at that dinner table that day. Right. I'm like, I woke up at 5 o'clock and went for a run. I'm going to eat and drink everything.
So I want to go back to Running Element real quick. They did let me go running in these shoes because I guess this happens from like time to time. They get different shoe manufacturers, but also they ordered me a pair of shoes that I wanted, which is pretty cool. They're very friendly people. I think one of the guys' name's Pete. I think it's maybe Pete and his wife, or I don't know, but just partner in general. But yeah, it was a really cool store downtown. They've got a really good selection, a selection that we don't have anywhere else in Ocala. Yeah. And a few years ago when we did what's the Big Hammock series?
Yes.
Where we run like 10 5Ks. I was running in these like 15-year-old Fila's that I had. And I said something about my feet hurting, and he's like, your feet aren't supposed to hurt at the end.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, they don't hurt at the end. They hurt almost immediately. So, yeah. So they hurt almost immediately. I go and get my like gait tested up in Gainesville and buy a pair of. They're like, you should get the Brooks Ghost, and so I get those. I take like 4 minutes off my 5K the very next race, and I'm like, my feet don't hurt. So it's an excuse for me to buy like a decent quality shoe at full price and not feel bad about it because I can break it down over the next few years.
Yeah. It's like the only thing. It's just like I learned. It's just like, oh, you track mileage on a shoe like a car, and it's just like, well, yeah, if it's your running shoe, you track mileage so you know when it's worn out, and so you don't hurt yourself. And so it's like, oh, actually buying a good pair of shoes, tracking the mileage and replacing them when necessary is much cheaper than physical therapy and going to the doctor and like leg braces and stuff like that from wearing like cross trainers or old Fila's or something. And so like I learned that the hard way too because I was running in a pair of like Nike cross trainers and like they were killing me.
Yeah.
Got a pair of good running shoes and I was same thing. It was like night and day. And so now like I try and stick to that pretty stringent in terms of like retiring them too and not going beyond their life because that foam.
Or you just turn them into gym shoes if you're not going to be.
I turn them into like gym and yard shoes. It's. I mean, I'm not getting any younger, so got to protect them joints.
To me, because I'm super cheap, I'm like, $140 is a lot. Well, I'm like, okay, if I break that down.
It's an investment in your health.
Well,
Justin.
it is, though. If you break that, and it's a hobby, and you're spending, some of us, up to, hours a week doing this.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, you break that down to what is that per week for me to, like, run and not, like,
It's the only, like, piece of equipment you need for running. Like, that and, like, tank glide. That was a game changer for me, too. That was a real game changer.
I was waiting on that.
But specifically...
Tank glide? Yeah.
Mine's for my thighs. I gotta start using it more though.
Oh yeah, it was one of those things. It's like my mother-in-law. She's the one that told me. She's like, you've never heard of glide, because she's a big runner and like triathlete, and like I've gotten most of my running tips from her in terms of shoes and mileage and getting inserted and all that stuff. So I appreciate that knowledge, but I was just like, no, I never heard of it. And then I got some, and I'm like, oh, I didn't realize how much friction you get like on your thighs and stuff like that.
So if you put a lot on though, would it like?
You get
make
faster.
Your time better, right? That's kind of what I'm getting at.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Because you just go.
Yeah, right. Coat the whole body up.
Just
cutting through wind, everything.
Yeah, just be naked, just covered in
glide.
Why go glide? It's bacon grease now.
I mean, have you seen some of these runners? They're almost naked sometimes.
Yes.
Like at the big races, like wow, you've really cut down on the
clothing.
Yeah, the clothing to try to up that aerodynamicity.
Yeah, but also I think it's like, it's friggin' hot out there. So I mean, like,
it's friggin' hot out there.
It's crazy how hot it is. So I'm like,
if
you're running and you're not going that fast, but like you get that little bit of wind against you, which is like, I want that hitting my sweaty, overheated skin and not some shirt that's soaked in sweat. So like, yeah, it's less clothes the better.
Yeah.
That's true with most stuff.
I don't know. I gotta do this. Now while I'm running. I hate having sweat on my face and my eyes.
Same.
Yeah. Maybe they should invent something that goes on your head that like could like.
No, I've got like the world's weakest head, man. Like a
what?
Sweatband on my head. It just feels like I almost immediately get a headache. Feels like a small.
I have the same problem, but it's just because I have a really big head, and everything that is like just generally made for a normal person doesn't fit my head, and so it's always like I'm always stretching it to the limit, so it is actually tight and it is actually good.
Like, you can see them.
Yeah. You know when you stretch something elastic to the end and it stops stretching? That's what it's like on my head. So it's like I'm wearing a belt.
Yeah.
There's no give. There's no give and take. It's just.
Maybe that's what you should get, a belt, and then wrap it in a towel.
I tried it. Yeah, I tried a sweatband like on your wrist.
Yeah.
But then it was just like immediately
Drenched.
drenched it, and I'm like, well, now I've just gotta, sweaty, gross.
Just fling it at the person that's coming behind you. That thing
Mario
splats
Kart style,
on their-
like toss it back.
Splats on their face.
Yeah.
Gross.
Are they gonna do another running series?
There is one that I found out about. John Davis told me about it. He's not in it, but he's running the next race.
Is it what's his name? I went to.
It is the guy that did the beer mile.
Yeah.
Because I went on the website,
Darren.
which linked to the merch side, and I recognized the beer mile logo. Which please bring back the beer mile.
Please don't.
I'm itching to do another one of those. That's the most fun race. For those of you who don't know, the beer mile, and as far as I know, we've done it only twice in Ocala.
Probably, yeah.
And so it's the worst idea. It's so fun. You show up and you chug a 12-ounce beer that has to be a full flavor beer, at least minimum 12 ounces, minimum of 5% alcohol. You chug a full beer, you run a quarter mile, you chug another beer, full beer, run a quarter mile, and you do that until you are 4 beers in and you've done a full mile. If you have a reversal, which is a vomit, you have to run a penalty lap and I think drink another beer. But this is an official global event that they have global leaderboards, they have state leaderboards, people train for this and stuff like that. We've had 2 of them in Ocala. The last one, the first one was at the downtown market, and then the second one was at Infinite. And it is insane. It is the hardest run I've ever done in my life.
But the way my brain works is once I have 4 beers in me in 10 minutes.
Not running anywhere.
No, I did the run.
running.
Yeah.
He kept running all night.
Yes.
Algernon has security camera footage of that.
Because my brain goes, well, you need to do more of this for whatever reason. And so where most people are like, oh, I'm full, I don't want more beer. I don't know. It's just like, shovel more in, dude. Let's just keep this party rolling. And so, that's how I ended up meeting RJ Jenkins, though, because I walked in to Pi, just sitting there what are you doing? Why do you look like you ran a race, but you're also drunk?
Well, we did go out that night in our running clothes, I think with our bib numbers still on.
Yes.
Still drunk.
The run was at 12 or 1 or something. I didn't make it home until 1 that night.
Yeah. I just remember Lauren shows up to the courtyard. Al was there and was like, I cashed them out, but here's their credit cards. They ran that way, literally. And
they got in a karate fight.
He sent her on the trail. I just remember when she showed up, I'm like, how'd you find us? And she's like, well, I've been following the breadcrumbs of basically everyone knows where you guys are right now.
This is also the night I met Kelsey from the Floridian Mobile Bar.
Yeah.
And Lauren goes, I hope you know they don't have any cards on them. And she goes, I hope you know that I've just been serving them water anyway. We think we're having
was great.
vodka soda or something.
Oh, this one's strong.
Yeah.
You got a heavy-handed pour.
Yeah, just straight up water.
But it is I think if I recall, Run Ocala race series, and it's only 6 races. I think the 3rd run is coming up at the end of June.
So it's already going.
Yeah, it's already going. But it is the same guy that puts on the beer mile.
Darren DeTorres.
I believe so. Yeah, I believe so. Yeah. I like that it was only 6 runs. I wish I would have known about it because I probably would have signed up.
Oh, I see the emails and I just delete them.
I think they're going to one of my inboxes. I don't
emails.
check. Yeah, but
personal, professional, hobby, it's too much. I spend too much time deleting emails.
People be, absolutely ignorant with what they email.
That's an ignorant way to say whatever you just tried to say.
Okay, yeah. Well, I want
Nailed it.
Ignorant recognize ignorant.
Yeah.
Because
agreed.
they're just they send these emails and they're like, "What's up?"
Well, this is
do you know that we do this? And it's like, yeah, I know that you do this. Hey, we sell shoes. Duh, you're Foot Locker. Why are you emailing me that?
I recently, I don't know what happened, what tech companies started this, but all of a sudden I've been getting all of these now keep in mind, we're in 2022, right? 2 years into this pandemic. I think it's endemic now. I don't even know if it's still considered a pandemic. And I'm getting these, join our virtual fireside chats. So it's one tech company did this
I'd rather
stupid
fall
idea.
downstairs.
Right, where it's just join us while the CEO sits by a fire with a drink and it's casual fireside conversation as if we're networking, and I'm like, all of a sudden, in the past like 6 weeks, it's like when one of those buzzwords catches in the tech world, and they all think that like synergy, we have to do this, you know. So I'm like, please stop. Whoever you are out there that got the idea that you should be sending fireside invites, please stop. I don't want to go to these stupid things.
Yeah. Also, I don't have a fire at my house. Like, I don't have a fireplace.
It's May,
But,
June.
Yeah, right?
And you're right. And it's zooming like, I don't
Like,
want
no one cares.
Yeah.
They have, like, an inflated sense of, like, people giving a damn about what the hell they have to say.
Text me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Lower your prices and do something. Like, I mean, quit
Right.
trying to chat about synergy and being in this together. It's like, man, you're
nonsense. Yeah, I
laid off half your workforce and raised your pay.
when I get vendor invites, you know, like, hey, we're doing a golf outing, I'm like, you hit the wrong person. Like, don't care.
You're going to the Gulf?
Like, oh, you want to go to lunch somewhere? Not at all. Like,
We need, as a society, to change it from golf to mini golf.
well, I'll tell you what, some of the guys out there are smart, and they're like, hey, man, I got a guy with a fully automatic. We're going to go to the 88 and, lay off some rounds. And I'm like, okay, that is more interesting to me.
I
Like,
could network there.
yeah. But
Mainly because I'll have earmuffs on because of the loud gunshots, and I won't have to listen to you talk.
right.
You're just looking at him.
Be like, what was that?
Yeah. Every time we talk.
And it was pop off a couple more rounds.
But yeah, just in general, like, I don't want to waste my lunch with you, even if I did have that option.
So basically, don't email Justin. I'm just kidding.
Or make it like personalized.
Yeah.
You know, if I'm getting this, blanket email that, and I don't want to just sit down and watch you drink by a fire. Like, I don't.
So put, hey, Justin.
Hey,
And laid in.
what's
Yeah.
up?
Is that
Yeah.
more is that personalized?
Yeah. Hey, Justin, you want to go shoot some stuff? Like, okay.
Next
Yeah.
to a fire?
Yeah.
You want to get lit and jump off my roof?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now we're talking.
Wow.
You got a trampoline?
Like, do I want to go to Mimi's Cafe? No, I don't.
Never been there.
Mimi's pretty
pretty
good. Yeah. I was gonna say, like, I would. They'd get me with that one. I'm like, yeah.
I just, to me, I don't know.
They got chicken pot pie.
Like that time
I
is
don't know.
sacred to me. I don't want to spend it like, a $14 like muffin isn't worth my time to. That is kind of
Breakfast cake.
$14 muffin, it's got to be.
I don't know. They got good muffins there. That's all
Do
I
they?
know.
Yeah, I've never been there.
Pretty good burger too, actually.
Oh,
So
okay.
something
Honor.
up your alley.
Right up my alley. Northgate Diner. It's another great burger.
Is that the one you sent me a picture of?
Yeah, last
I'm
night.
going there.
How was Fridays?
It was good. We both ended up at Fridays yesterday. Fry space DAZE.
I ended up there.
Fridays.
What, Wednesday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you inspired us to go over
Not
there.
bad. You like
got-
fried food?
I got fried catfish. I don't know if it was catfish.
I don't know if the calamari was calamari, but I don't care. It was good.
Calamari was good.
Well, you batter and fry anything. It could be pig anus, you know?
But the catfish was good. No, you're not getting my email address. The catfish, whatever, it didn't taste like catfish.
I'll
but
pass it out after the show, guys.
It did taste good. I did enjoy it. Yeah, dang it. It's Sarah's right. I'm going to get a bunch of emails now.
Because I'm going to go in the chat and put your email out there.
But yeah, so Fridays, pretty good. You went there. I just love
They were playing Cisco music videos on the big screen inside when I went to pick up my order. Immediately, and all I saw was a deep fryer and a deep freezer. And I'm like, I guess this is all you really need.
Yeah.
There was no one inside.
it's not called Bake Days.
Yeah,
Right.
It basically, I'm like, your business is called Fridays. Everything was sticky and it smelled like a grease trap. Like, I'm like, okay, this, like, they know how to fry food, and it was delicious.
Yeah, it was good. The fish was really good. Calamari was
Sometimes
good.
you just need that, like, unfancy, like, we just do fried food, but we do it well.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think there's any vegetable on that menu.
Yeah, no. I don't
Like, now that I'm thinking of it,
well,
it's,
no, they got fried okra.
at that point, I don't know if it's a vegetable.
And they do broccoli and cheese, too, oddly. I don't know that it's fried. But
one of
For
the
some reason, that doesn't surprise me. Broccoli and
Fried
cheese.
broccoli.
That is like the most delicious, unhealthy vegetable side dish.
we had an employee that hit 10 years, and I said, "What do you want to do?" He said, "I want to go to lunch at Hooters." I'm like, "Okay, fine." Haven't been there in a
So you
while.
want bad food and bad service.
Right.
Gotcha.
So we go there, and I was like, "Yeah, can I get the smoked wings and I don't, whatever
The dry rub.
whatever side of vegetables that you have." And she goes, "We got mashed potatoes." And I was like, like, what other vegetables do you have? And she was like, that's it.
Corn.
It's like, they have 0 vegetables at Hooters. Just so
They
you
have
guys
to have
know.
carrots and celery.
No.
Yeah, they
0
definitely got
vegetables.
celery.
Well,
They
maybe
have to have
celery, yeah.
That's for garnish, Dave.
Yeah.
Trash
It's not
cans.
for people. Just go to next time you go to Hooters, like look around you and go, do these people eat vegetables?
Yeah.
Unequivocally, the answer is no, they don't.
Yeah, I was
Fair.
shocked.
Yeah.
Like, no broccoli, no. She's like, no.
That is weird.
Yeah. Like, okay.
They
well,
got DSNs,
yeah.
diarrhea sponge nuggets.
Okay.
That's what they're called.
That's what the boneless wings. That's
Yeah.
what we call the.
Okay.
Because they're spongy and man, whew,
Yeah, they get you.
they give you the runs.
Wing houses do that.
Really? It's probably just grease in general. That was kotobuki for me. I loved kotobuki, but I just had to stop getting the.
It's more hot sauce for me.
Oh, hot sauce? Really?
Yeah, because if I eat mutiny sandwich, if I go get a Zinger Mountain Milk, if there's
Oh,
any
them,
hot sauce,
them zingers, woo, tore me up though.
To me, it was.
Ugh.
it's like I have an shortened intestine.
It just skips the. Is it the upper intestine or lower intestine, long intestine, short?
feels like
We
it's
don't have to go
both.
through all the intestines and,
skips
and all
one.
the food that makes us poop. We can
Every,
skip that,
hold on.
actually.
Newsflash: every food makes me poop.
Well, that's true.
So that's
Even
a
cheese?
fact. Yeah, absolutely.
That's a fact, yeah.
That's a fact.
How we doing on time?
I don't know. How are we doing on time?
It's
Too
not.
bad there's not
I
eight.
just-
I'm
eight
trying to get
clocks
past the poop
looking at
talk.
us.
That's
Yeah,
what
get
I'm
past the
trying to
poop
do.
talk.
Yeah.
You talk about nanobots. You talk about road rage. I don't care.
Yeah,
I don't
let's-
care.
What's the nanobots?
This stuff's wild. They created a nanobot the size smaller than a flea. Could walk across the edge of a penny.
The ed-
Science.
Like
Yeah,
when
you
the
turn a
pennies
penny
up?
on the edge, and they got a nanobot that it's remote controlled.
Whoa.
So it doesn't use like servos and batteries and stuff like that. It uses, and I had to write this down because this is some real sci-fi stuff.
Weren't nanobots in Big Hero?
Dude, nano like soon. Oh
Big Hero
man,
6?
nanobots are
Yeah.
terrifying.
Wasn't there like
I can't remember that.
They use shape memory alloy deformed and then covered by a thin coating of glass.
Ooh, yeah.
So they-
Well, that explains it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I see
So
why
like
that would
literally
work.
like this thing looks like a crab. And it's like I said, the size of a flea, and they shoot a precision laser at it, and basically the laser will heat up like this memory-shaped formed metal, and it like expands, and then as it like rapidly cools, it contracts. And so they're just like shooting it with this laser from like their control center, and it's like it moves its legs and it walks, and they can control where it goes.
That's
Next thing you know, they're gonna be in your brain.
obviously.
Like
That's
now, it's
the
not fast.
clear next step.
It's not fast.
Yeah, but if it's a nanobot,
But you can't.
don't
It's so
know.
small. They say you can't even feel it if it's on you. That's the thing. They're like, yeah, well, it's not breaking speed, right? Yeah, Dave, check your arms because you don't know. All y'all listeners, you don't know if you got nanobots on you right now.
When has science gone too far?
Every time science has done something, literally, every single time. Yeah, we can start listing them. You know.
Let's not.
Okay, because we've done some really messed up stuff. Truly, and that's all the stuff.
Because
that
we
they've-
know it's going to circle back to the humanity, so let's just.
Bro,
skip past it.
that was the first thing on my mind.
I know.
And that dolphin
skip
thing, that was
past
NASA funded.
Anyway.
When they tried, that was NASA funded. So, I mean, it's not like these are like
dolphin
rogues. The dolphin, when they tried to teach it English. That was
Remember
on NASA.
Richie Rich when they had that?
Yeah, I remember
bee?
Richie. Oh, no, I was thinking
Oh,
Blank
yeah.
Check.
Yeah. Oh, Blank Check was a good one, too.
Tone Loc. What happened to him?
Remember when.
He got that
Think
from-
about if you got $1 million right now, like.
That's nothing.
You wouldn't even get the house that he bought. Like,
Yeah,
you would
right.
get, like,
He had a castle.
yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Actual castle. And it was in California, too, or something, right?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I just assumed.
Imagine the property taxes on that thing alone.
Can you? Yeah.
That's when you know you're old. You're like, God, I can't imagine the
The house
property
is
taxes.
expensive, but man,
Yeah.
there's usually property taxes.
Yeah, $1 million. Yeah, now you write Blank Check now, and it had to be like, here's $1 billion, and this is like, wow.
That's what it would have to be. If you redid the movie now, it'd have to be $1 billion that the kid catches.
$1 billion.
So much. Yeah. Well, anyway, wow. Where were we at? I'm trying not to go like off. On
I know your
million
mind's
tangents.
off in the.
It is.
humanity
It is.
and
I was
the-
just.
the
Yeah, I
dolphin
know.
world.
I don't know why y'all got to trigger me with that.
You're
I'm
easily
just trying to talk
trouble.
about nanobots.
Imagine what it's going to be like
In the
another
future.
50 years from now. I want you to spend all day imagining that.
Smaller.
No, I don't.
nanobots.
I'm going to now. Great.
Guys, thanks for joining us. Happy Friday. Happy Stranger Things 4 season opening day.
Check yourself for nanobots.
Check the nanobots. Have a great weekend.